Hi there. My name is John Loudon, marketing consultant for Social Distancing Inc., and I am currently speaking to you from my home office. I understand this filming process and conversation is a bit unorthodox, but as Social Distancing Inc. implies by the name, we do like to be at the forefront of these kinds of issues, so we are still taking all safety precautions necessary. As you can see, I did still dress up for work. I do have my setup and presentation in front of me. I also have the notes and guidelines, as I hope you all have with you as well, I sent out for this. Okay, so without further ado, a few of the things I want to discuss relevant to this meeting are the reasons that I think going into Guatemala and expanding our business would be relevant, most of which I have already outlined here. But just a couple of graphics I want to show you, a couple of things I want to hit home to really help better understand, convey with words and presentation some of the ideas that are going into this. So, as you can see here, coffee shops are not new to us, obviously. I'm sure many of you picked up your Starbucks on the way in. They are also not new around the world. Guatemala itself is one of the largest producers of coffee globally. I would say the largest producer. They have recently been supplanted. In fact, they are currently ninth in the world as an coffee exporter. That is not to say they are any shirk. As you can see, they produce approximately 3,121,000 sacks of coffee annually. And this data is as of 2017. So you can only imagine the expansion that has gone on since. That being said, there is room in that market for them to grow. One of the reasons they are number ninth has to do with, as discussed in my most recent paper, the Leroy disease that struck in 2016. It decimated approximately 75% of their crops, which you can see in the following charts, had a major impact in overall sales, going downward and spiking. You notice a little bit of an uptick here. That is because around that 2016 mark, we had a couple of local, as in the US, companies come together. One of them was the free trade agreement that has been working with Guatemala for almost a decade now, actually a little over a decade, since 2007, in terms of helping the small businesses grow and develop. The other, of course, is the Leroy Recovery Project, started by the Coffee Trust, which is a nonprofit project. They used, not only did they help them regrow their crops, provide soil and fertilizer and seeds, but they also provided training to increase and improve their efficiency. And that is one of the reasons I think we, being Social Distancing Inc., would benefit from jumping in from a financial aspect. If we can get into the Guatemalan market, specifically the Guatemalan coffee market, while it is recovering, it is developing, it is expanding from small businesses taking over the roles of large businesses, we have a huge potential to mutually profit from that, both them and us. And the beauty of this, in my opinion, through the research that I have done, is that, and I will get to this slide here that you see in a moment to understand the significance of what you're seeing, is that we as a group hate to take on things like new risks and new ventures. You know, first year of business is dicey for anybody. This isn't their first year of business. As a country, they have been doing coffee sales and exports for over a century. They have consistently been one of the global leaders, beyond the US for sure. What this is a established business that we are supporting the small up and coming people through an economic hardship as well as a social and political hardship. Us being a backer now not only establishes goodwill, but in the future, as it is standing, as it's coming up through the free trade agreement, through the Leroy Recovery Project, through the coffee trade, all of those other people that are helping as nonprofits and that are helping establish these small businesses that are growing and outpacing bigger corporations, putting those small businesses on the forefront and rising them back up through the global ranks, we will not only be able to help with that process, but we will also be a reason that they get there. You know, they're ninth right now. They could get up to fifth to third. We could push them further than that. And the market, the evidence that I have, supports the growth in desire. 80% of Guatemala's coffee bean production is strictly hard bean, which is that right there. The chart that you see before you, specifically this line right here, indicates the increased desire in recent years. This is going back all the way from 1963 to 2018 for strictly hard bean based coffee. In this case, it's Arabica coffee, which is primarily what Guatemala produces. As you can see, even since the 1999 area right here, that desire has just exploded. There's a small dip here, of course, the Leroy Recovery Project in 2015, 2016, but then it has since started going just back up. More demand, more profit, more availability. They are getting the techniques and the assistance from these other people, from the coffee trade and the free trade organization. What we can provide is the financial backing, the business and global connections. We are not a non-profit. That is very true. We can still make this partnership work. I think it's crucial that not only do we attempt to do so, but we make sure that we do this the right way. As I discussed, they have an inherent distrust of both foreign business and authority, which is incredibly understandable considering centuries worth of issues and collusion and corruption in both their local government and from foreign powers. In fact, one of the reasons that their coalition got started, and one of the reasons they started with all these small businesses getting together, the Free Trade Project helping out, Free Trade Market, I apologize, is because that foreign businesses were paying them so poorly for this product. They were making this, they were producing so much in the world, but they weren't seeing the benefit out of it. They weren't increasing their efficiency. Their kids were working the farms, whereas now, through processes like the coffee trade, not only are they increasing their efficiency, but their kids are able to stop working their farms, start getting an education. They were working poor. They had all this established capital and were seeing none of the benefit. We can jump in, act as financial backing. We can help get that project off the ground. We can help them expand globally. We can make sure that their business is sustainable, that they can thrive as a country, as a business, both on the small level and at the collaboration level. And we can be that helping hand. I think the way that we pursue that needs to be very gentle, but very quick. We need to jump in on this while we can. We need to see about getting with some local guides, some local businesses, some local aspiring businessmen and women, and using them as liaisons in this context. There are entire cultural gaps that we simply cannot bridge in the time allotted. If given a year, we still would not be able to do that in a sufficient manner. We need to come in, make sure we are showing their culture respect, showing their work ethic respect, and showing our buy-in and our assistance that we are providing. I believe that that is something that we can do. I believe that my research that I have shown indicates that. And I believe that Social Distancing Inc., keeping and helping from afar, as our tagline would suggest, can be a global financial backer for them and for others going forward. This is Jake Loudon. If you have any questions, I am more than happy to speak further on this. I encourage you to contact me. Thank you very much for your time.